See, here we had the break. We had retest red, but the second candle was green. Here we had the break, not a retest, not a retest. And even if you wanted to count this and stretch the rules a little bit, it was a red candle. Now, being in here, and depending on what your rules are, you may be okay with getting out here. It's not quite a dollar move yet, but that's pretty good gains. At this time, we talked about our stop being here. We've moved it up to here. Now maybe you want to move it up to here once you draw that line. If you did, you may have got stopped out there. And like I said, I don't know what the gains would be, but I guarantee you it's probably at least 10, 15% or more from there to there. So now we're going to keep going.
Can I follow up with just one question as we continue real quick? OT, um, I want to ask. Fib is going to put a poll up right now. I want to ask: was it clear why that was not a good entry? Just wait for Fib's Fibonacci. He's going to be putting up a poll here in a second. If it's clear, hit the yes. If it's not clear, hit the no. But is it clear why this would not have been um, a uh, a good classic break and retest entry? So all right, so we got some. There you go. All right, we got like 26 people saying it's clear. We got roughly around 9 to 10 people saying that it's not clear.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll go over it again. We came up here, we double top, and we drew that resistance line here. So what are our rules for entry? Our rules is a break of that line, which we got right here. Then we want the first candle to retest that line and be in the direction of we're going. So we're buying calls, we want it to be green. Well, we didn't retest. We didn't retest that line. So our second criteria is, okay, we're going to go break +2. There's the second. It did not retest. And not only did it not retest, but it's not green because we're thinking calls here because we're in an uptrend. So let's say you stretch the rules now and you say, okay, I'm going to do, the breakthrough +4. But then you got the retest you wanted on the fourth candle. However, it's not green. So I would not have gotten in as an entry right here. Now, we all obviously see it would have worked, but how long would it work? We're getting ready to find out. But so that's why, based on our criteria that we set out at the beginning of this, breakout +2, there's your breakout. So you got one criteria met. There's the +1, one candle over. It did not meet our criteria. Even though it's green, it did not retest. So we're going to go one more candle. Not only did it not retest, but it's red as not the direction that we're looking. So that's the reason.
Sorry to interrupt. Sorry about
no,
that.
go ahead, buddy. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna piggyback off of what you said. So you can do break +1. It's up to +2. So you could have a break, and that next candle can retest on a green, on a green candle for you to hop in at a call. That would be perfect too. That'd be beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
You can go up to 2. And we're talking about having a very a conservative criteria. You heard Old Timer just say, hey, you want to bring it up to +4, you could. But the reason why we're saying, break +2, because we want you guys, again, to be conservative and consistent. And even though in this case here we did see the price go up and your call would have worked out, would it have worked out the next time and several times after that? And so what we're sharing with you is what we've, kind of back tested with Jimmy, and reviewed ourselves. And we really want you guys to be conservative and consistent. Once you get comfortable with it, then hey, it's your finger, you're clicking. You feel free to refine it how you like. But it's a break, and then you could retest on the first candle. You can get in. You can retest on the second candle, no problem. But if it's on the third candle, at the early, if you're just now trying to wrap your mind around this, wouldn't be the wise thing to do. Uh, but we got a few questions here for you, OT. The reason for limiting, Furious George asked, the reason for limiting to only 2 candles for a chance of retest is for preservation of momentum.
It's what we're trying to give you all guys is a very safe and risk averse method that we've back tested, and we feel comfortable with the +2.
Yeah.
Just based on what we've back tested. I mean, if you want to do +4, +5, if you want to count, if it goes all the way up, comes all the way back down over here somewhere as a retest, that's your strategy.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just trying to give you a very basic, risk averse, easy way of looking at this, especially live when I can't, when you don't get to pause it like this.
Got another question for you. So the wick needs to touch the line to be considered a retest.
Yes.
All right.
Again, risk averse. We're trying to make this as simple and easy as possible.
Yeah. Imagine, that green candle is a guy who, actually, would you mind hovering over? I believe it's 10:09 or 10. A little bit more, a little bit back, a little bit back, a little bit back again. One more. Yeah, there you go. That green candle. Okay. Imagine that's a guy trying to get on the roof of his house. And he tried and he hit the ceiling. Didn't work, right? He tried a few more times, didn't work. And then finally, over here, was that 10:10, where we actually break resistance. One more.
10, 11.
Boom. Exactly. 10:11. He's finally able to find a place, a hole in the ceiling, where he can actually crawl up on his ceiling and then use that as a springboard to jump even higher, right? Think of it that way. I don't know if that might help some people visualize what we're talking about. At that point, he's able to, put his feet on solid ground and continue up higher. It's no longer a ceiling for him. Now it's a floor for him. And it's a solid floor for him to be able to continue his move up higher if there's another floor for him to traverse. Hopefully that helps some of you guys, but that's what we want to see. Uh, we want to see price hit that level again. Okay, just got like 2 more questions for you. OT Yolo says, where can we find this criteria?
Well, a couple places. One in this video when we post it, but
Mm-hmm.
I will work on. I mean, it's basically just one line, but I'll work on something and get it up
What?
somewhere. Custom code tips and tricks. I'll find somewhere to put it for you guys.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Just let's see, one more question here. There was a good question here too. Um, okay, ADP3 says, sorry, are these rules applicable to higher time frames? Even just 5 minute? I can take that one, OT, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna find this. Oh, never mind. Somebody got it.
Cool. Thank you, Fib. Yeah, I mean, the same patterns. If you, I highly recommend you guys read the book "Trading in the Zone" by Mark Douglas, I believe. And yeah, he talks about it, and it's true. The same patterns represent itself on every single time frame. So, yes, this definitely can work out for the 5 minute as well. So hopefully that answers your question. Give me a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up, ADP3, if that answers your question. Someone asked another good question too about Uh, Trade Monkey asks, so the wick needs to touch the line before? Nope. Ask that question. Someone asked about a closed candle, a candle needing to
Yeah,
close.
Hawkeye did.
Yeah,
Okay.
there it is.
Now, for this, what we're going over, this is back to basics, so keep that in mind that I'm going to say yes. Wait for the candle close. As you get more experience and you're watching these candles and you can kind of get a feel for things, maybe you can adjust that. But if you're brand new and you're just starting out and you're just learning this, personal advice to you guys would be wait for the candle to close. Golden, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that. You can take definitely two different approaches. You can take an aggressive approach where you see that price is failing to get below, and you want to hop in and try to get ahead of the game. But understand that's very risky. Understand that's very risky, and that's I guess a place where sometimes some traders may differ. That's very risky. Make sure you're putting in some stop loss management, risk management there. However, like I said, we want you guys to be consistent, so we're highlighting the conservative. We want you the conservative route. So 100%, definitely get in when the candle closes, uh, and then you have your stop loss in play, and you might find that you're going to be right a lot more than you're wrong. So right there with you, OT.
I can tell you from personal experience that, I mean, I lose trades, everybody does, but out of my lost trades, more times it's not, is because I've gotten a little bit cocky and I'm anticipating a move and I get turned on. Almost every time. I don't wait for the candle to close, or I anticipate the break because it looks like it's going to break and it doesn't break and I get stopped out. Anticipation can hurt sometimes.
100%. Got another question from Massman. What if that first candle didn't retest, but was a larger green candle? Massman,
Uh,
which candle are you talking about?
he's talking about this one. So you'd say it came and went boom.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're talking about? If that's the case, I missed this trade.
Yes, that's what it is. Yep.
If it went boom here, over, boom, I missed the trade. Because you're chasing now. Hopefully that makes sense, because here's the break, and we set a higher high, so you don't know where that higher high is going to end, but it's going to pull back to a higher low to keep going if we're in a trend. So if it just goes boom, over, and boom, I'm not chasing that personally. Even now, I'm not even telling you as a safe play. Even if I was gambling, I wouldn't chase that at all. It'd just be a trade I missed. What do you think, Golden Saint?
Yeah, 100%. It's
I mean,
like
if it went boom, over, boom.
yeah, I mean the contract prices would be really high, and if I see Twizzlers at $1, there's no way I'm going to go in there and buy it at $5 for that bag. That's why I can't buy food at the theater, at movie theaters, for that same reason. But anyhow, I digress. But hopefully it helps some of you guys.
Okay, we good?
Yeah, you're good to go.
All right. So maybe y'all recognize that we tried to push up here. We didn't. We came down. We double topped here. So we're drawing another line here. So let me go over one more. Okay, Mothman, this was perfect. Perfect example. We're waiting for a retest. We're waiting for a lower high for continuation because we're still in an uptrend. For those of us that trend trade, we're still trending. But it went over and kept going. So I'm not chasing this. If I wanted to buy a put, I'm not chasing this. It didn't retest. It did not give me an entry. Okay, it's just so we don't get confused. Now, we set a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, a higher high. Well, guess what we just broke? We did not set a higher low. Our uptrend is now broken. So like I said, I'm trying to show you this without the trend line, but you saw it drawn earlier and it broke the trend line. But our trend line is now broken. We just set a lower low. So since we just set a lower low here, trying to look at the chat for questions at the same time.
I got you, man. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I got you. Hi, I'm
Now,
Josh. Ask a question real quick for you. Uh, go ahead, though. Go ahead. We'll wait till you break for a second. Go ahead.
I was just asking, Josh, I was just getting ready to tell you, we broke. We did not retest here. Even though it was red candle, we didn't retest. So we go break +2, and guess what? We came all the way back up. So if you jump the gun here and said, well, that was close enough to a retest, you just got stopped out. Now, we're going to go back to what we talked about. Well, I think in the trend line video last time. So here you see, I know it's repetitive, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. We're in an uptrend. We just set a lower high. I'm sorry, a lower low. So if we got a second in chat, why don't you type out what you should be expecting now? What are we looking for? Yep. See, Danny, we set a lower low right here. We broke this low. So since we set a lower low, we just broke this uptrend. We are now looking for a lower high. And that will
Got a question.
confirm the downtrend.
Got a question. Fib, if you can get ready to put up another poll here, I wanted to ask if you guys think that this would qualify. This would be a good call entry for the break and retest. So just wait for Fib's green book and red book here, and drinker of iced tea. You gotta hit the button. Probably a Weeble user. That's probably what it is.
Up, dude.
I'm just messing with you, man. I'm just messing with you. Put the gun down. Put the gun down. I'm just messing with you.
Team QS has got this.
Yeah, no hate, no hate. You need to turn that frown upside down. As long as you can make money, we're on the same team. All right. Looks like we got about five people who said that would be a good call entry, and we have 31 who are saying that it would not be a good call entry. Old timer, I
Okay,
submit to
let's
you.
let's go with our criteria. So we broke through on a green candle. We broke through this resistance, but did we retest? And the answer is no. We actually closed below. So this is not a valid retest. And then, of course, we did here, but this nullifies. We broke, but we did not retest. And then the second thing is what we just discussed. We just set a lower low. So we're not expecting the best case scenario, unless something weird happens, is we double top. But we're expecting a lower low. That's what we're looking for right now. Because we broke trend. Now, can we set a lower low and set a higher? Sure. But our expectations is a lower high because we've just broke trend. So here you could say the bulls are winning, and here the bears just slapped you in the head.
Got a few other questions for you
Mm-hmm.
here, OT. Doing a great job, man. So Gurmukh asks, it's also a downtrend now, right? So no calls. Is that right?
We are in a downtrend now.
Mm-hmm.
Once we saw this right here. And what is this? This is our lower high that we were expecting.
Mm-hmm.
So now you could do that.
Okay. Elijah asks, how much of the green candle does the retest need to retest? 100%?
Okay. I'm not sure I understand. Do you understand?
So if I'm understanding correctly, Elijah, what you're asking is, I guess, how much of that candle is okay to go below that support for you to feel like that's a good retest. Is that right? How much would you allow to go below the support? Is that right, Lydia? Sort of. Okay. Um, well, if you can, yeah, expand on it a little bit so we can help understand your question. And while she's okay, you're on an iPad. No worries. It's an Apple product, so you got love here. Let's see here. Scales. I think we need to define breakthrough now. Does the whole candle body have open and closed above the support and resistance line? Okay, that's a good question, Scales. We'll give Elijah a chance to go ahead as that's being sorted out. I'm going to go ahead and ask you this question, OT. Scale says, I think we need to define breakthrough now. Does the whole candle body have to open and close above the support and resistance line?
It has to close. So this would be a breakthrough. It broke through and closed above the resistance here. This broke through, it closed above the resistance. We don't really have a good support test yet. We'll get to one though,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll show it again, but we'll get to one that we'll be getting into puts here real soon. Hint, hint.
Okay. Looking at 10 a.m. on the chart. Let's look at 10 a.m. on the chart real quick. 10 a.m. on the chart here. Um, okay, that's 10 a.m. And it goes up, then comes down 100% to support. Okay. She does ask this question, but other example, it goes down like 25%. Elijah having a little bit of a difficulty
I,
It
I think I get it. So,
you do? Go ahead.
Elijah, look at it like this: the size of the candle for these purposes, the size of the candle is not going to matter. Look where it stopped. So yeah, we came all the way up, and it came all the way down here, but it held support. It closed above that support right here. Let's see what another one. This one, well, this one didn't retest. So I don't know another one we could use, but I see what he's saying. See what he's saying, or she. I'm sorry, but it went all the way up, and we almost engulfed. Is that too much? But it held. Now, if this would have closed below the support, if it would have closed and not left that wick right there, then this would have nullified everything right here. But it closed above support. I think that's more important than the actual size of the candle. Maybe
Yeah,
Golden
she.
can take what I'm saying and make it sound pretty.
No, it looks like the make it sound funny. It sounds like a okay. You got thumbs up there from Elijah, but Scales is looking at that 1032 and wondering why isn't that considered a retest? 1032, 1032, 1032 ish.
Because it was
The red hammer, the
it
red hammer.
closed. Yep, it closed below. Oh, okay. This You were right
Yeah.
about this. However, this candle
Hold
right
on.
here nullified. It closed below.
Sorry, 1035, 1035.
Okay, this one here.
Yeah.
Two reasons. Now, I'm assuming you're thinking calls here, right? So if you're thinking calls, this is a retest on a red candle. That nullifies our rules for taking calls.
All right. Scales is clear. Scales is clear. He says perfect. Danny Trades asks after the last green breakthrough, the next green candle is a retest, right? But not a good one because we broke trend by putting a lower low, correct? So, Danny, are you talking about the 1032 candle?
This one, right?
Yes.
Okay. So yes, it broke through, but this did not retest. It did not hold our supports. So it broke it. So this is not telling us it's a solid support at this time. Now don't forget we hadn't seen these candles yet when we're here. So it broke and it did not retest. So now I'm automatically not interested. Now you're right, this one did retest. It did hold.
Mm-hmm.
But this nullified our rules for this that we're talking about tonight, trying to make it, simple and easy to follow. So this broke the retest rule right here, which nullified everything underneath it.
Mm-hmm. So, just to quickly summarize, guys, we are giving you we are giving you very conservative rules to follow here for this break and retest. And so what does that mean? That means that you can follow it and you can get, some consistent results. Uh, or, if you want to refine it, you can too. But I want to make sure we're clear here. This everything here is not black and white. It's not black and white. If you see this, boom, I'm in and I'm making money every single time. If you're really paying attention to Old Timer, he's really talking about the price action a lot because you have to pay attention to the price action. You got to pay attention to whether it's a retest. Is this a break? Break plus two. What Danny just highlighted. If we're watching this live during the trading day, your eyes may see this as a break plus two, and if you did get into that trade, when would you start to get out, right? When would you start to get out at that point, understanding that the bears just slapped us down? So these are some things you can think about. But in case you're not thinking about that, and you say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and get in this trade. All right, it, you know, it would in that case if your eyes see that as a retest. Let's just say your eyes see that as a retest, and you decide to get in. All right, you are going to have to scalp to get out. It's a lot riskier at that moment. And so again, old timers doing a really good job of giving you very conservative rules to follow and helping you guys to see where they present itself. And so, old timer, I give it back to you.
Okay. STK Trader asked, why is this not the lower high? And because this is the lower high. See, we set the high, set a low, we set a high, and we set a low. Now, maybe this is confusing because it wicked, but at one time this candle was down here red. Then we set the high, and then we broke this low right here, right here. Does that make sense?
STK Trader, give us a thumbs up if that makes sense. If it doesn't, we'll try to expand on it.
I think if this candle was fully red, you would see it a lot better. But at one time, this was a full red candle, and it got balled up. And just maybe to touch on this real quick, we are in an uptrend. This is one of those candles that I see, and I go, uh-huh. And I'm pretty sure this is one of Jimmy's candles too. We tried to move down here. They tried, and it didn't happen. See how it got bought right on back up? That's a strong candle for continuation. That bottom wick right there. But that might be a subject for another video altogether, but that was a perfect instance. We're in this strong uptrend. They tried to push it down. They tried to come back down and didn't. It got bought right on back up, and we just kept on going. You know, we got another one here where they tried to push it down and got bought back up. They tried to push it down. We went on back up. But just as a quick example, because I said earlier, we're going to touch on that tonight. This is one of the things you also have to watch. But we set the lower high here, which is what we expected after the low. So same thing, price action, lower high. Lower low, lower high. What are we expecting? We're expecting a lower low. So with that in mind, this might be a good spot to look for a break and retest. So we got our break. This is our break. Right? Everybody see that? Because at one time this whole candle was red.
Ooh, can we do a poll here?
Yep, go right ahead.
All right, guys. Fib, I'll give you a second to get the poll going. I want to ask everybody: would this be a good entry for puts? Break and retest puts. Would this be a good entry for puts? Let's wait for Fib to go ahead and put the books up.
I was gonna say, man, if you don't put the red one up, it's kind of obvious.
Wow, half and half here. Would this be a good entry for the break and retest for puts? Ooh, man. Got ourselves a duel, man. Right now, 28 no's to 23 yeses.
I feel like I'm failing.
Yeah, wow. 30 no's, 24 yeses.
It's kind of like the poll on aftermarket. It's like, oh, shit. What are we doing?
Yeah, consolidation on the polls. Yeah.
Okay.
All
All right. Let's see if this candle right here was all red, no wick, red all the way down here. Would anybody change their mind about if this was a retest or not? Is it the wicks that might be confusing you? So
Okay,
this,
before we talk about confusion, real quick, OT,
Mhm.
let's give them the answer, and then this way we can kind of see where the confusion may lay, because some people, you got 33 people who are still not sure,
Okay.
or who would say no, and 24 who would say yes. So who was right?
So let's go back over the yeses were right, but let's go back over here. We had the break, we had the +1 that didn't work, we had the +2 that did work. Okay, everybody saw that. Here we had the break right here. Like I said, if this candle was totally red, I think more people would understand it. But we have the break,
Mm-hmm.
we have the +1 that retests, and it closed below. So we don't have to worry about the +2. This is our retest right here. So when do
So
you want to go ahead?
you have up to 2 candles to be able to fulfill that criteria. You don't have to wait for the second candle. The +2 doesn't mean I got to wait for the second candle. You have up to 2 candles. And so it could happen in +1, right? Or it could happen in +2. All right, we got a lot of good questions here, OT. Let's see here. I'd say a wick on the last candle broke through. Yep. If the wicks are the wick did actually break through. Whether it's a wick or a full body candle, it's still considered a break. Uh, and okay, let's see here. Hammy Loafer says the double bottom to the left. Would we not want to break that? It's a good question.
You could. You could wait for the break right here.
Mm-hmm.
There's no problem there. As a matter of fact, if you waited here, you might want to get in when it breaks and not wait for a retest.
Mm-hmm. More
I mean,
conservative.
I'm not sure what happens, but
Mm-hmm.
I lost
but
the stream, so somebody else can share.
Okay. Somebody
West
else can
Virginia
share the
internet.
share.
Yeah, exactly. West Virginia internet at its best. I'm trying, but yeah, I ain't got nothing.
Yes, Danny, it's recorded. Unfortunately, I started a couple minutes late, but the majority of it's recorded.
Random dude, I hear you. Random dude is saying, I hear Jimmy in my head saying, puts aren't on the table until we break an old below the last low. Yes, definitely hear you. Hear you there, random dude. But what we're doing here is we're making sure we're emphasizing the entry criteria, and the exit as well. So good call out there, random dude.
Yes, sir.
Hi, I'm Josh says, how is that a retest when that's the open of that candle? It's because of the wick. Okay. So, hi, I'm Josh. I don't know if you've answered your own question, or if if you're good. If you're good on that, give me a thumbs up if you understand. If not, we'll expand on that. All right.
Try to
Is that
try to vision what this candle did. It opened, it went up just a tick, and then came back down. So if it was green for seconds. It's kind of hard to see with Trading Views replay because it gives you the whole candle at the same time, but it just went. It probably went blip, boom.
okay? Is that considered a 3-bar play? Mossy Moss effect. Unfortunately, no, that would not be considered a 3-bar play. Let's see here. Stream ended. We lost the stream. All right. Before we continue, let's just make sure we got another
Yep.
stream on here.
Bye's got
Fantastic.
it. Thank you. Bye.
All right. Thank you so
Mine's
much,
back
Bye.
up too, I think.
Awesome.
We can't trust you no more.
Exactly.
Okay, Bye needs to mute. We're getting that echo. If you can mute me, Bye, or and an old timer. This way you won't get that echo. I think that's how you do it.
I think that's how it works. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Cool. Now, guys, I know you guys are going to want to look at, double tops, double bottoms, 3-bar plays, and all this good stuff. Just understand what we're trying to do is we're trying to emphasize the break and retest. You guys see Jimmy does his, how I traded SPY. You see his entries, you see his exits. He makes it look really easy, but we're showing you guys this is what's going on in his mind in real time during the trading day. And yes, it's good to keep all those things in mind. Not bad at all. But again, we want to make it very clear what a break and retest looks like. So, OT, back to you.
Okay. So now, aggressively, you could get in as soon as this candle turned red. You could wait for the break below the previous candle right here, which is probably more times out than not what I do. I'll wait for the break of the previous candle, but that's up to your personal preferences and your personal criteria. But for what we're doing, that is the break and that is the retest. So we are in a put now. I'd like to bring up something else, especially since Random Dude and a couple of y'all put it. You could wait for the break of here. Now this is 423.93 right here. What would your next target be if you waited for this break? It would more than likely be here, right? Because that's our next line. We're playing zone to zone. So you're looking at 20 cents as your target. So now you got to ask yourself, is that worth the risk? Just bringing that up. So if you're one of those, and it's not wrong, that waits for the break of here, you might want to wait for the break of here. Actually, you might want to break it here because even here to here, that zone is kind of small. Depends on how you play, just bringing it up for you to consider. But in our scenario, we're in a put now. We'll see how it plays out. Now, this would have been our target. And we blew right through it. So I'm going to move my target down to here. Now, same thing we talked about here. Higher high, higher low, higher high. We're looking, don't panic. There's going to be a lower high here somewhere. Now, so we can stay consistent. Now our stop will probably be here. The previous candle. I mean, you could have put it right there if you wanted it real tight, or here. Now we're down here. I've just moved my stop to here. And again, it's not if we make money, it's how much we make money at this point. I mean, we've all traded SPY enough to know that this could go boom, bam, in an instant. So now you're guaranteed money. There is our lower high. And then there's could be your out. You were in here, 424. You're out here, 423. That's about a 60-cent move there.
Right.
Playing zone to zone. Like I said,
selling
zone.
strength.
Yep, zone to zone would have been here, but we blew through that. We moved our stop to here. We never got stopped out. Now we're in the next zone. You could do two things. You could sell here, or you just move your stop to this line right here. See how far we go.
Got a question for everybody here. Yes, Joker, 100% sell into strength. You can sell right at the zone. Probably be a lot more beneficial to sell as you're going into the zone. Take advantage of the contract price. One thing to keep in mind here. Notice how a lot of the different factors you want to be thinking about. In this play, could you just get in, looking at your criteria, get in and get out? Yes, absolutely. But as Random Dude pointed out, I want to break this this double bottom here, or OT is talking about, hey, is this enough meat on the bones for me to ride it, from this zone to that zone? Is that enough? Is this worth the trade? These are some things. Again, nothing is black and white, right? So these are some things to consider. But I do have a question for you guys. Fib, I want you to go ahead and put up another poll here. Would do you guys, okay, what candle is that? That red candle, OT. After that pullback, we got that little pullback right there. Okay, so we got that red candle there, and then we have the red candle afterwards. Would that satisfy the break and retest criteria? The 1044 and 1045 candles. Does that satisfy the break and retest criteria? Let's wait for Fib's poll here.
Go to my confidence is being restored.
Yeah, the wick is touching the yeah. Which wick is touching it. That's right. Wick is touching it as resistance. All right. We got 37 38 38 people saying 39. 39 40. It's starting to stall. We got 40 people right now saying that yeah, that right there satisfies the criteria
Good
for
job.
break and retest. Yep. Good job, guys.
And
It
why?
is a
We broke here, closed below, we retested, red candle, meets our criteria. Break +1.
Okay, Jayhawk asks, would the pullback shake you out? When should it?
Okay.
Well, Jayhawk, if you're talking about the pullback at what
Right.
was that,
Right here.
1030? Yeah. Um, I don't think you would have got. Would you have gotten in? Would that meet the criteria OT for you?
But there's a
The way the
couple
pull.
ways
Mm-hmm.
I would play this. One, no. You had a break. The retest failed because it came below. So we didn't really hold support here. And then when you go +2, then it closed below anyway. Now, the way we explained it, we broke a retest right here. So you were in. Even if you got in at the break of this red candle here. We came all the way down. You could move your stop to here. You could play it this way. So you never stopped out. And we continue down. And we're still continuing down. So now you can move your stop from this candle down to this resistance right here. So if we came and broke back up, you're out. You're still, it's not if you make money now, it's how much you make money. So you could do it that way. But this was expected. You know, lower, lower, lower. We're expecting a lower. So I'm expecting something lower than this. Now that gets into a little more price action, and we're going to do a basic class on price action. But so now I'm expecting a lower low, which we have.
Just super.
Now if we look left,
I'm
this
on it.
might
Go ahead.
this might be a target. So we're looking left. So what do we see here? bunch of consolidation. What can you expect here? Maybe some consolidation. So maybe it's going to bounce a little bit here because it did it here at this price when it first reached the 423s. So maybe you're going to get the same thing here.
So right before
looking left always helps.
Before we continue, so there were 3 people here who didn't understand. Hopefully, you guys do understand. I see questions here in the chat about this green candle. Wing 89 says, "Is the green candle after the 2 red candles not a retest?" And so, that's a loaded question there. But for our criteria, no. Is it a retest in general? Yes. But for our specific criteria for puts, to be able to get into puts, we want to get in on red candles. Would you agree with that, OT?
Yes, sir. He's talking about this one here.
Mm-hmm. I think so. Yeah.
Yep, it's a retest. But we're looking for puts, so we want this candle to be red. So if you didn't get in here, this might have been a good one.
And which in that case you would have stretched your criteria to
it's
plus
not
3.
Yeah, it would. This is not a +2, but
now again, this is a very conservative approach to this, right? There are times where Jimmy will get in, he'll see support. In this case, he'll see support forming. He'll see price struggling to get above support, and he'll get in before candle close. He'll get in 30 seconds, within 30 seconds. So there's 30 seconds left before the candle closes, and he'll jump in an aggressive entry. Again, like OT said, that comes with experience. That definitely comes with experience. You definitely don't want to do something like that, and then next thing you know, you get that big green candle, and it's like, oh man, my account is screwed up. So we're again, just want to emphasize the conservative entries. We want you guys to be able to master this, right? Master this. OT, you got it.
okay. So we look left. We're in this put, and we can see this. So you can kind of in your head say you might see this again. Golden says all the time that market has a memory. So maybe somewhere in this area, if it doesn't go blowing past through here, we might want to consider getting out. Now, Raymond, dude, the chat's moving so fast, I missed your name. But he said something about scaling out. If you're buying more than one contract, and I know some of the new guys aren't, but if you're buying 2, 3, you might want to consider taking a couple off and leaving a runner. You went from here to here. You take a couple off, you leave a runner because you're expecting it. It's kind of the same thing. It's not if you make money, it's how much now. And then another thing we want to emphasize is never, 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 never let a green train turn red.
You forgot a never.
Never. So.
I got a question here. Trade Monkey asks, if the red retest candle has an upper wick touching the support and resistance, but also has rather long lower wick, much longer than the body, does it still meet the criteria? Trade Monkey, yeah, I would think so. Is it a break and retest? Is ultimately what you want to look at? What do you think, OT?
Yes, I think you're right, Gold. If for this scenario, if it's a break or retest, that's what we're showing here. I think Trade Monkey, you're getting kind of opening up something a little deeper than what we're doing for candle reads and stuff like that. So I understand your question. But yeah, for the simple what we're trying to do here for break and retest, then no, the bottom wick wouldn't matter.
Danny Trades, you forgot a never. OT, you got it.
You want to do another poll?
Oh no, yeah. How many nevers should you
There you
keep in
go, buddy.
mind. No, we're good.
Okay,
Go ahead, continue. You got it.
so you missed this one, and maybe you missed this one. Do we have another one? We broke, we retested, we closed below on a red candle.
This will be a good poll. This will be a really good poll.
Well, hopefully I just gave them the answer. But
Yeah, just realize it. Go ahead. You got it. Continue.
so now, looking ahead, I kind of gave it all the answer. Yes, but there's a but here, and that but is looking left. And it might be, I'm not going to do it because it might screw everything up, but if you're really zoned in, and this is what you're looking at, just these candles right here, that would look like a great break, a retest. And you're telling yourself you missed, you're telling yourself you missed, well, by gosh, I'm getting into this one. But if you zoomed out a little bit and you're looking left, you've got this staring you in the face. Do you want to be, if this happens, do you want to be caught into this? And I honestly don't know if it happens or not, but that is just one of the things you got to keep in mind looking left. Yes, it broke. Yes, it met our criteria. Yes, it's a red candle. Yes, it's a good entry. But looking left, you might be in for some chop. Just pointing that out. Your next target would be down here. So that's decent. But you got to get through this. And you don't know if this is going to be chopping up like it did here, or is it going to be chopping down? I know that was a lot of talk. Probably won't chop now, but
That's why it's always good to draw those orange boxes, to have those visual cues on your chart. And you know when price is coming back to that place where, buyers and sellers are fighting, you can exercise some caution. Because if they fought there before, chances are, it might be something similar. Again, market has a memory. So keep that in mind, guys.
So we'll review them all. If you got in here, you played zone to zone and you're out. If you got in here and you played zone to zone, you're out. Even if you held one, you'd be out on this zone here. If you got in here, you got stopped out.
See, that's one thing to point out. Not every trade is going to be a winner. So if that met the criteria and you jumped in, there's nothing wrong with jumping in right there as long as you honor your stop loss. So we don't want to show you that every trade is going to be a winner. So this right here, yeah, it meets the criteria. It broke through, it retested, so you jumped in. Guess what? You got stopped out. Okay, go to the next trade. Don't think that every trade's gonna be a winner, but again, you have to honor that stop loss.
Yes, sir. This met our criteria perfectly, and we got stopped out. He didn't do anything wrong. It just didn't work. On maybe a next level up that we can talk about at a later time. Again, we consolidated here, and after this consolidation, what happened? We went up. We come down. We met this area again, and the last time we were in this area, it went up. It did it again. The market has a memory. So, a couple things here. We got out in here. Here we got out here. Playing zone to zone. If you did, your stop loss was at least here, so you got out even. If you got in here and put your stop loss, right above the support, you may have lost a few cents, but
Got a question. Got a question here. Real quick. Fib, poll time. Would the 1050 and 1051 candles, would that, is that the 10, what is that?
That's 1050,
Yep,
that's 1051.
I'm sorry, 1049. 1049.
Right here.
And 1049 and 1050. Would those be, would that fit the criteria for break and retest? All right. Would that fit the criteria for break and retest? All right. Wait for Fib's poll here. All right. We're just talking about whether it fits the criteria for break or retest. That's it. That's all we're. Someone put a blue book. Come on. Come on. What is this? Yes or no? Okay. The blue book is not sure. Okay. That's fine. Not sure. Okay. Fine. Context. Yeah. I got you, man. I got you. Blue book is yes, but no trade, in my opinion. All right. Okay. Again, it's a
All
simple
right.
question. We're not. Yeah. Does it fit the criteria? That's all. Got 28 yeses, 18 no's, 30 yeses, 18 no's, and 6 question marks here. 6 question marks. All right. And old timer, I'll let you reveal the answer.
Okay. This might not be
Nope.
the answer you're looking for, but everybody's right. How's that? Now, to his question, does it meet the criteria? Yes. We broke, we retested on a green candle. However, we are, like some of y'all pointed out, in a downtrend. And then one of Jimmy's rules is you never buy calls in a downtrend. Now, we started out this with everything's subjective. So did you draw your downtrend like this? Did you draw it like this? So subjective, right? If you drew it like this, then yes, this is definitely time for a call. But if you drew it from here to here, we are still in a downtrend. We're still setting lower highs. So my opinion is we don't break trend until we broke this high right here, which I don't know because I ain't gone that far yet. So, but golden, different view.
Nope. I'm in agreement with you there.
Okay. So to answer his question, the answer to his question is yes, it meets our criteria. However, we're still setting lower highs, lower high. And until we break this lower high, I would feel comfortable in calls. So let's see what happens.
Yes, drinker of iced tea. Yeah, OT officially have given everybody a participation trophy. For sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Everybody's right. Everybody gets first place.
Okay. So what happened? We double topped. Y'all see that? So could you scalp this? For sure. And played it zone to zone. And it would have worked for you. You got in even at the break of this candle if you wanted to be somewhat conservative, or right off that. Played zone to zone. You played your call. We double topped. And now we're going to see what happens. And then the question becomes, is this 31-cent move right here worth it for you? And of course, we can't answer that. So, if it's worth it for you, if you, buying contracts to make money on that, then it's worth it. It worked. The criteria worked. We played zone to zone. We double topped right afterwards. Now, I think, Sky, you asked way back, and I meant to answer this and forgot. Do you draw support and resistance lines on the way down? I do. But as you can see, we had need to so far. These pre-market lines are working perfectly.
All right, OT, got a question for you. Do you think that, and Fib, you too, do you think that we've covered some good ground here? Maybe we have room for maybe one more example and one more poll, or do you feel like we should just open up the floor for questions and possibly conclude? What do you guys think?
Oh my gosh, it is 7 o'clock. I kind of ran over.
No, you're fine. Maybe we should do a
Remember?
poll to see who if they got a good grip on everything.
Yep.
You think that's a
Well,
good idea?
Yep. Let's do another poll if y'all want to keep going a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I can. I don't trade after 11, but I'll be willing to stretch it for you guys. And while y'all are putting that in the chat, I want to show you this. We broke. We continued. I'm watching this. It just didn't retest. I'm even if it comes and it's the put of the day, I missed it. Personally, for my way of trading, I missed it. Unless we come up now and retest it. But we'd have to come retest it and come all the way back down for it to be red. So yes, sir, it's being recorded.
Bib, do you mind asking if for this poll, if you have a solid understanding of the break and retest, just so we can get a good feel of where people are?
Hey, Jayhawk, you're cheating. How do you know there's one last downtrend?
All right, guys, you got Fib up there. He just go ahead and need your participation here. All you guys, a lot of people up here in the chat. Do you have a solid understanding? Green book for yes, red book for no. Want to get a good feel of where you guys are.
Yep.
Just make sure you guys hit the green book for yes, red book for no.
I mean, I don't mind. I'm sure Golden doesn't mind keep going if we have to, but we don't want to keep going over stuff that gets boring for you guys either.
We have a phenomenal OT. Looks like you've done a phenomenal job. We have 39 green books and 3 red books. You 3 red books, please, I would definitely say take some time to reach out to either Old Timer, Fib, or myself if you want to be able to go over this. We'll probably put together a Word document and a Word document. So it's like 1996, a Google document or something of the like, to be able to just touch on this at a high level for those 3 who are still unsure, which is okay. This type of stuff takes time for it to click. A lot of different types of learners, so it's all right. And the zone says yes, he understands until there's money on the line. I hear you, man. Play small positions, man. Play small positions. Don't be putting the whole portfolio on a trade.
Yeah, Elijah, we'll go put it in a doc. I'll figure out how to put it up and link it or put it somewhere. We'll figure out something.
All right. You guys think we should jump into the Sunday kickoff? What do you think, OT?
Anybody interested in what might happen this week?
I don't think anybody's interested. I think we need to do 10 more examples of the break and retest.
Guys, if you don't get it, truly don't get it, DM me, Ski, Golden, somebody. We'll get with you.
Mm-hmm. All right. Before we transition to do the Sunday kickoff, guys, just show OT some love. Give him some emojis in the chat, man. Did a great job of and Fib as well. Fib and OT
and Golden.
Fib, yeah, a little bit, yeah. Throw that,
SS is, do you look for a retest even when there was consolidation at a support resistance level? No. Let me go back real quick if you're still watching. This would be consolidation here. We'll go from just body to body to make it simple. Now, I'm looking for a break out of there. So I'm not interested in puts until it breaks below this consolidation. I'm not interested in calls until it breaks above this consolidation. Then maybe you can look up for a retest of the box itself, if you wanted to do it that way. Does that help,
Awesome.
SS?
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you. I didn't have to go through all those
Awesome.
icons.
You guys are getting mad love, man. You guys are getting a lot of love here. It's awesome, man. Wow.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it, fellas and ladies. And I'm going to stop sharing and turn the floor over to Golden. He's going to tell us exactly what's going to happen next week.
Prices will move. The end.
There you go. Perfect.
There you go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, guys. What's going on, guys? Shout out to Fib and OT. Great job with the break and retest entries, man. Awesome. You guys out here had some really good questions. Good job on the poll as well. Glad that you guys are leveling up. Even me looking at what OT was talking about, you know, I caught a few things that I needed to harden in my mind too. So thank you again, OT. Thank you, Fib, for the backup and the polls, and bringing up a good point about not every single trade will be a winner. Very, very good point. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to jump into the Sunday kickoff, guys.